Lovely jubbly. Amazing people. I'm so grateful for you. Let's dial in. Let's dial in for a moment here. Let's take a deep breath, shall we? Let's take a deep breath in. Stretch open the belly, stretch open the solar plexus, stretch open the heart. Anchor into this high frequency, the highest as you can perceive right now. As high as you can. And breathe low into the belly. A lot of times we tend to want to stay in the heart, but we can't seem to do it because we are not embodied. So we want to anchor this breath into below the heart and exhale into the space beneath the body, into chakra 10. Because the more we awaken, the more we are pulled to the high level frequencies up and out of the body. So we want to stay in the body. That is the highest level of awakening, staying in the body as the divinity that we are. Land your own divinity here in this body. So continue to breathe all the way down the spine into the tip of your tailbone. And let the tip of your tailbone enter through the earth and let it travel. Simply observe its travel. Let it traverse down towards the heart of Mother Divine, towards this blazing fire of molten lava in the center of the earth, and land your own divinity here. Feel into the frequency of oneness, unity consciousness. Take a deep breath in again from this deep, heartfelt center of the earth. Merging cosmic intelligence with ancient wisdom, and exhale back into her embrace. Feel your body melting and melding as you connect with these vibrational frequencies of unconditional love. Always loving presence, always here. Always here, and all you have to do is land your consciousness on this quality of you. It is who you are. Breathe in low in the belly and let your breath begin to resonate as that quality, the great divine, the presence of the great divine, Mother Gaia, divine feminine, in physical form. Beautiful. Slowly, my loves, slow your breath down. Gently, gently. Gently, gently. This auspicious time of the year allows us to have access to the most brilliant light on earth at any time of the year. But what you're doing today, right here, is accessing your own deep, deep inner truth. Accessing it and allowing that deep truth to rise up in your core. And the more your mind can recognize this, infuse this into its muscle memory, the more easily you can call this up at any time at all, because we are already that light which so many are seeking. We are that which we are looking for, which is why so many people have such a challenge to access it, to find it. It's not about discovering it. It's actually really to decide to remember. So allow yourself to feel this potent, molten lava energy rising through you as you breathe up and exhale through the heart and throat and through the third eye and out through the crown. And continue to do so. Keep doing it. Keep allowing yourself to land your divine self. You are that light. Your work is to rise in accordance with the frequencies that are descending upon us right now. We are here to build the constellations, the circuitry, to allow that conscious pattern to take form. Drop into that essence and be that which is rising, for its power is incredibly immense. So, once you have awakened to its presence, once the door is open, do not go back to sleep. We can enhance it, we can enliven it, we can become it, and let it express itself in pieces and parts throughout your entire life. Connect those circuits. Anything that's happening in your life that feels like, oh my God, this is so difficult, this is so frustrating, those are all here to signal to you, hey, take a look at this in your body. Take it to the body. Where is it? Where is the distortion? Where is the wobble? And bring that divine energy into that place. Shine the light, awaken it, build the circuits. So what is it today you are desiring to shine your light? What illusions that has tricked you into generating a limited, unhappy, unfulfilling life? Are there edges that you want to push or unveil, rather? I don't like the word push very much because it has a force to it, but you know what I mean. Like really going to the edge of your human and taking flight as the divinity that you are. What are those decisions you are here to make? Because you have to decide. We all have free will. Yes, we are fractals of the divine, but if you decide, I don't want to live this, I just want to stay small, I just want to become completely closed off to any possibilities, that is your decision. And the divine does not blame you, the divine won't stop you, it's your decision. But if you're here to surrender into a greater version that continues to cross territories, continues to converse and work with the unseen, that continues to allow your wholeness to be embraced and show up to the surface level of your life, then welcome. Then welcome. Let yourself say that to yourself. Welcome. Sometimes you just need that little remembering, that little nudge of that, oh, I remember that memory of me. And the reason for this incredible time that we're here as celebrated as holy days, sometimes you hear that as holy days, sometimes you call it the solstice, Yule. In every indigenous culture, we celebrate this moment because there is literally a planetary alignment that is occurring in such a fashion that it allows more cosmic energy and cosmic light to bombard the planet in a direct fashion. So there's the veil literally is dissolved between us and that cosmicness that we are. There has never been a separation, but that density that we are as a physical form, that energy that created this physical form, rather, it is becoming almost it's becoming so palpable that most of you probably are feeling that sense of, oh my gosh, like I feel like things are going to fall apart. And then your choice point is, are you going to let it fall apart to unveil the next steps? Or are you going to keep clinging on to what is no longer serving? And this is the choice point that you get to decide. You have the free will. Do I move through as the divine being that I am, knowing that the unknown is simply my higher self, knowing that everything is happening for us, as us, through us? So literally on this planet, we are moving on an axis, and we are rotating and moving around our sun, all of it affecting the hemispheres that we're in. Whether you're in the northern or southern hemisphere, it's a little bit different, but mostly what we know for sure is that the entire planet is being impacted because of other rotations and other aspects. So larger systems of galaxies are at play. We have to remember that. And so as we are in this spiraling fashion of rotation, what we're going through is that certain time of the year, there is an alignment, there is a planetary alignment, constellations aligning in a particular way that allows us to receive more of those cosmic intelligence more abundantly into who we are, into what we are, and allowing that to rise. Spirit descends, the soul arises. The soul rises and wants to be expressed through you. And here again, this is the choice point. Will you let that higher frequency be integrated? Or do you push it aside? Do you suppress it? And how does that higher frequency come through? If you are unaware and if you are unconscious, most of the time you would think like, oh my God, this is anxiety, this is anger, this is frustration, this is grief, right? And if we can begin to see this as not bad and not good, simply as what it is, we can really start to begin a conversation where we can talk about that soulful presence, that presence within you, that I am presence. And then we can begin to have a conversation about embodiment, because until then, we can't actually talk about being embodied. Being embodied means there is no separation between you and the divine. And the divine does not care if it's good or bad. It really doesn't. And so your decision, it hinges upon your decision. How do you want to live? And today we're here to talk about unwavering faith. And I want to talk a little bit about this because whatever that we desire, firstly, is a manifestation of what the divine desires to express through us. And I want to really preface this as this desire isn't something that was given to you. It wasn't something that your ego picked up thinking, if I do this, if I can have that, then they will love me, or they will chase me, or they will forgive me. It's not that kind of desire I'm talking about. I'm talking about this great giant cosmic ball of desire, this energy, this frequency that is really leaning over the edge of the universe. That is you. You are the universe. You know, when they talk about like, the universe has my back, like, well, the universe has your back when you have your back. Because so many times we are always blaming, like, where is the universe? Where is God in this? Like, nobody cares. Like, where are you in the equation? Where are you backing yourself? How are you disembodying yourself when you put yourself in the victim's shoes, saying that you can't do that because somebody did this to you and this is what I want, but then they won't let me. All of those are illusions. And I know I am at a risk of sounding really harsh. I think that's the word that's coming up. But we're literally, like, the ones who can hear me will know that I'm not harsh at all. I'm saying this with such an immense love at such a potent intensity that it has to pierce through all your old patterns, all the defunct and old paradigms that you are still functioning on, but you already know deep in your soul level that you are rising into a new level of alignment, of frequency, of paradigm. And you're being asked to go far, elevate, get to that point where you are so incredibly, immensely surrendered. That is unwavering faith, because we can't talk about trust. We can't talk about faith unless you're holding it while walking through the deep unknown. While you are walking through moments when you hear crickets, like you have no fucking idea what's going to happen. You're walking with unwavering trust. Now that to me is trust. That to me is faith. And I'm not talking about faith in the religious sense. I'm talking about grace. I'm talking about devotion. Not making yourself any smaller or making yourself bigger. You simply are, and you continue to walk with that unwavering trust, unwavering faith. And especially in those moments when everything, it looks like it's going to break apart, and you're still walking unwaveringly, you're still talking without hiding. That's when the universe shifts into this place, this alignment, literally, that allows you to collapse time and space in the physical form. Now, isn't that incredible? Isn't that incredible? So I want to share a little bit about how this works. The time that we're in, we are literally in a place where higher frequencies are bombarding this earth. That was what I said. But if you are in a vibrational frequency where it's not a match to this energy level, this opportunity will come and it will pass you by, and it will come around again the following year. But it will just keep doing this until you actually become an energetic match. Because when you're not a vibrational collaboration with what is offering us this opportunity to embody and slip into the divine form in this physical realm, then all that is this level of frequency is doing is really literally just serving what it needs to serve, and then it will come back around next year. So how can we make use of this? Like, if you're in a place where you're like, you know what, I really want to work with this higher level of frequencies that are bombarding this planet right now during this time, well, this is how we work with it. This is how we work with it. You are aware now that there is this level of frequency available to you. And perhaps you are already aware even before you entered this class, before you entered this transmission. How did you know? Like I said, you probably had like sleepless nights or some sort of anxiety attack, or even like at a lower level, just anxiety, like you're not sure why, and then you're perhaps even witnessing certain things in your life that are falling away or falling apart. If there are any one of you going through things like that, you can always share that in the comment section if you feel safe enough. And just know that in this space, nothing gets left behind. I am here for all of you, and every part of you comes along on this ride. And in this time that we have together, you get to experience how I run my mentorship spaces. We powwow, we share, you have questions, I answer. So this is a spectacular opportunity to have a one-to-one mentorship opportunity with me in a group setting. So feel free to use that space. And I love responding, because the more I can respond, the more I can really deepen into this energy level where I can feel you and see you in the field. So if you wish to do so, you are very welcome. And I just saw Ali Sher here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. So the first thing you want to really acknowledge is your wholeness. And I really mean acknowledging it not just on a mind level, because the mind can only perceive so much. The mind cannot perceive the divine frequency. That's why you have to bring the mind and the body and merge them into one in order for this circuitry to be built. And in many ways, when you want to express the divine expression that you are through you as you, and always it is happening for you, this one you know that, I don't even need to mention that, even though some people would think at some point, and I definitely have been there myself, where the human is like, how can this be happening for me? But I tell you, trust 10,000, 100,000%, because every single time, just ask yourself, every time you look back in hindsight, you'll be like, oh my God, thank goodness that happened. Although at the moment I didn't think it was the best thing, but I really feel like that's the best thing that ever happened to me. I mean, hello, anyone? Yeah. So if you are berating yourself or like criticizing and punishing yourself that, oh, I'm not whole enough, or like my consciousness is not high level enough, or I'm not enough, just know that at every point you feel that, on the other side of the spectrum is absolutely the other end, the opposite. And this is the law of polarity that exists. It's a universal law. It's a universal law. So every time you feel like I'm not enough, there is a part on the spectrum where you feel like you're too much. Yes? So how can we bring ourselves to become an energetic match to the divine? We want to drop into the frequency of the divine. The frequency of the divine is all-encompassing. It doesn't say it's good. It doesn't side with the bad. It just is. That is why it is all that is. The divine exists in everything. Everything is divine. And you are divine. Even the most tardy heart, yeah, Erin, Lily, yes. Every part of you that is what you think is not enough or too much, they are divine. And the reason they are not enough or too much is only because your mind thinks that they are not enough or too much. How many of you have gone through years where at the beginning, maybe you thought, oh my gosh, like that was so cool. And then, a couple of years later, you're looking back and you're like, oh my God, I had no idea. Like I had no clue. And I'm more mature now, and I'm a master at the work that I do. I mean, the easiest thing I can think of right now is like when you're beginning to drive and you're like, oh my God, the clutch is here. How do I start? Like, how do I adjust the chair? And then the next thing you know, you're driving. And here's the thing. You don't ever want to go back to sleep. You don't want to go into autopilot. You don't want to be cruising. And I think too many of us are cruising. If you ask yourself like, hey, am I in alignment? Yeah, I am in alignment, but I doubt this, and that isn't really what I want, or like the one thing I really wanted didn't really happen. Like, why is that? Then you're not in alignment. It's as simple as that. And it's useful to come into almost like a light-hearted confrontation with yourself and ask yourself, like, how much more energy do I really want to leak to all these things? No more. Lily is saying, my mom died in March and I'm starting to understand the divinity behind her transition. The darkest time of my life is bringing so much light. Yes. I don't fully understand it, but I'm learning to trust the openings happening from her passing. Exactly. Lily, I want you to know that she is completely wholly here right now. Not in the physical form, but the unseen realm. She's so close to you, closer than ever, closer than she could ever be physically. And that is what we are spiritually. Like even when we're alive, we can think of someone, and the minute we think about them so deeply and feel it so profoundly in our entire being, they call us, they text us, right? This is how it's like. This is how powerful you really are. And I want to share a little bit about what happened last year around the same time that we're in right now. I went to a Qigong retreat in the Shaolin temples to learn about Qigong and meditation and Chan Buddhism. I am very much a universalist. Like I am I love exploring. So I do a lot of things and I love to share, and the work that I do through my activations and my tea ceremonies, my mentorship, they are really what I can call is mine, but also I want to be so transparent about where I seek for knowledge and my teachers and my masters. So anyway, I went to a Shaolin temple and I was deep in this meditation, this silent meditation, this Chan meditation. And the first time I did it, I felt like my entire body was going to spiral into a deep, dark abyss of unknown. And I felt my physical body the response was like it was trying to pull itself back up. So I kept feeling like I was rocking backward. And when I came out and I realized that I was so afraid of falling that I was instinctively pulling myself, my nervous system was just pulling myself up again. I realized that I broke into tears actually. I realized that I had such a deep fear of death of my close loved ones, death of myself. In myself, that sense was like, oh, I've got so much I haven't done yet. There's so much I haven't achieved yet. All of those blah, 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 ego stuff. And I spoke to my teacher, and my teacher said, don't be afraid to fall, because you won't fall. And 1 year later, as I speak with you now, I can feel as I free fall, as I allow myself to drop into that abyss. There is this dome of light that rises up, and I fall on top of it. And this is the image I want you to see. Your mind is like that cloth, that silken cloth that falls on this dome of light. And that mind, when it lands on it, your consciousness becomes aware of that divine presence. And let that mind absorb the divine presence. Be absorbed into that divine presence. So Lily, if you can do that for a moment here. Your mind doesn't need to understand it on a logical level. Probably will never. But that's okay. That's perfect. Simply allow the mind to witness, to experience this divine love. It's so beautiful. And I can come to a point where I can literally tell you, I have overcome that fear for death because I understand on so many levels, not from a mind level, maybe at some point, yes, but that experience of dropping into death, knowing that it's simply a cycle. It's just like what I spoke about the higher frequencies that we're in. We're cycling back. We're eternal. We're eternal presence. And so we'll cycle back and we'll cycle back and cycle back. And the more we're able to understand and allow this experience to unfold for us, we would never be afraid of the unknown. We would never be afraid of death anymore. Doesn't mean that you won't shed a tear. I always shed tears. I always cry tears. When I feel into that gratitude, when I feel into that divine presence, when I feel into what it would feel like when my parents leave this world, of course. But I also know how beautiful that relationship will continue to unfold in the liminal space. So thank you so much for sharing that, Lily. I truly appreciate that. So for all others, can I just say, let's go deeper than the intellectualized understanding of all. What that means is, yeah, I get it. But it's not landing in my life, my relationship, my business, my career. The reason why is because you are not able to feel it right here in your body. The mind and the body are still operating separately. So you want to be able to bring that in. And one of the divine ways that I do this with my clients is to bring them into a safe space, a sacred space through tea in ceremony. Tea is one of the most ancient plant medicines in the world. It's an adaptogenic, so it's not psychedelic. It's very safe to have every single day. And even if you're not doing it as a ritual, that tonic that opens the heart, it brings the northern light back into your heart. That's what they call it in Chinese medicine. You start to feel different. You start to see things differently, because literally when the light is lit up in your heart, it lights up your eyes as well. It brings the spirit that was too afraid to stay in your body back into your body. And as you continue to do the practice and embody this at that embodied presence level, the quicker you are able to open your heart, open up to that presence in any situations. And that is where we can start to have the experience and the conversations of how can we move into the unified field and call through as us, through us, for us, the reality we want to create. You can't be a creator when you are leaking your energy to whoever that is you think is stopping you. Whoever, usually somebody or money, those are the big ones, right? Always. It's like, I want to do that, but I need to fit into my budget. I want to do that, but I don't have the money for that. Who cares? Really? If you feel into your divinity, if you know that that is the life you're destined to live, you will do this. Do whatever you need to do to master that level, to rise to become an energetic match to that frequency. And it's not easy. Don't get me wrong. It's not easy. But that is why literally people who are deemed living their most exquisite, most fulfilling life are in the 1%. And the physical reality that we're seeing is literally 0.0001%. Everything else is energy, my loves. Everything else is energy, which means when you want to shift something, you want to shift your paradigm, you want to shift your physical form, you want to shift whatever that is already physicalized, you go to your energy level. You go back to what is formless. You don't try to manipulate something that's already physicalized. You can, which I think a lot of us have done. If you are here and doing some sort of spiritual work, I'm sure, just like me, you've gone through burnouts. You've gone through times when you had to burn down everything because you were so exhausted, because you had so many unresolved things, sadness, sleepless nights, right? You are the unifying, neutralizing force on this planet. You are here to alchemize all that you experience into victory. Plain and simple. Can you have unwavering faith in that? Can you stay present in the face of that, whatever circumstance you're finding in you right now, where you do not know where you are, you do not know who you are and what to do. I don't know what this is for. I don't know how to manage this situation. Can you stay present in the field of this unified field that you are, the divinity that you are. Thank you, Ama. I love you too. I really do. You know, oftentimes I tear up during these live sessions because the majority of you will probably not act on whatever I said. This is how it's gonna be, to be honest. And I wish every multidimensional being that is tuned into this know how exquisitely powerful you really are. That those one thing that oftentimes you think is blocked from you or unachievable or so far away, they literally can be collapsed. Like that distance can be collapsed through your recognition, through your decision, through your unwavering faith. And that unwavering faith, yes, it takes building, it takes mastering. And this is why I'm here. I'm really good at this. But trust me, I definitely have gone through my path of fire. I've been burned. I've been, like all the things. But that is why I'm here. And I want you to collapse that space and time. I want you to really have the most exquisite life. Because you're here for this. And you know that. The reason why you want more. It's like, you know, I always love to share this because it happens to me all the time. It's like at one moment I'm like, I'm so grateful. I'm so happy with my life. This is it. Then I turn on my phone or I turn on my computer or whatever, or it drops out of nowhere while I'm walking. Like, I want that. Again, you want more? That's the little ego critic that says that. But like, that happens because we are ever evolving. We want more because we are living. We are just like nature. Nature does the same thing. It's always evolving. It's always growing. The tree always grows higher. It never goes like, I'm stunted, I'm enough, I'm done. No. Once you recognize that you are the creative force, that you are made of God, that you are made of the divine, the cosmos, I can't even say it because you already feel it. That exquisite life. What that feels like for me, I'm just going to share, is that I don't leak my energy to anything else except, well, I don't leak, period. Any moment something comes up where it frustrates me, it brings me down, I embrace that feeling because I know that feeling is really here to be alchemized. It will eventually elevate me. But also it feels like it goes to such a deep, deep place. It allows my divine form to deepen into this physical body. Anchor that in so that I can channel that in everything that I do. And I truly believe that when I say nobody has the privilege to waste my energy or time, and everyone is on their journey, whether you see it or not, whether they see it or not. It's truly, 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 that's it. There's no need to explain anymore. There's no need to find out why they did that. We get to be that unifying, neutralizing force on this planet. And the feelings we get is only what it is because we named it so. So once we come into this beautiful place and seat ourselves in our divine seat, divine throne, or what you will, we will recognize that all is as it is. And again, I want to make it clear, you, with the free will that you have to decide how you want to live. You have to decide. You have to decide. All right, my loves. I'm very thankful I get to spend today with whoever is here and present. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for tuning in and receiving this channel transmission. The energy, the frequency is immense. And I trust you will receive it the way that you need it. The way of tea is something that is really close to my heart and something that has guided me from a place where there was just pure chaos in my entire heart and life to a place where I find peace and flow and grace and such closeness with the divine. The divine that is not separate from me that I'm talking about, but the divine. And I allow that divinity to work through me, as me. And it ripples out into everyone else's lives. I see my husband rising to the divine masculine that he is. I see my friends, those who fall away and those who are new and coming through as I rise in my energy. And I feel myself expanding as I understand why these things happen through my divine lens, to my divine frequency. Not putting something on a pedestal, not putting something on a pit. Equally, all is divine. Like that energy is what I'm here to really share. And I want you to really feel that unwavering faith no matter where you're heading to. If you are a visionary, I know how important that is. That literally determines 99% of what you create. Whether it comes to life in this world, unwavering trust is all that really makes a difference between someone who started and someone who ended. So if you want to work with me, right now I have a 29% code that you can use for a 3-month mentorship space called Chadao for the Multidimensional Woman. In January, we will begin also for a 12-month journey. This is for the one who wants it all. It's called Initiating Awakening. And this is where we truly come into the place where we can quantum leap and drop into the depth of your soul and embody that presence. So these both will start in January. So you can come in. The spaces will close on the 29th of December. So you have to come in before then. After that, everything will be closed. So I don't know what's going to happen. This is a decision I just made. And if those things don't really feel right for you at the moment, come and stay in touch on Instagram and Substack. Substack is a place that I'm playing with. More things will come. And Insight Timer, of course. Insight Timer. So if you're here and you want to jump into a mentorship with me, just drop me a message. Like, there's no obligation. Just chat. Let me know where you're at. And if you're fully open to receive guidance, mentorship, energy alignment. Everything is energy first in this world, and you can create incredible, immense things. So, oh yes, and if you are really like called to work with tea as a plant medicine, then Chadao for the Multidimensional Woman is the right place to go. Okay, that will be the place. And after 29th of December, that place will be closed, and the only way you can come in is to actually have book in the tea ceremony activation with me one-to-one first, and then we can decide if that place is right for you. So this is really something that is going to be shifting immensely in my world, because I really feel like the wisdom, the ancient wisdom, that are, we are so incredibly, I am so incredibly honored to carry. It's it has to be gate kept in some ways, because there are way too many people who are taking and not really using it in the right way. Yeah. So how do you combine spirituality and abundance and living an incredible life all at the same time? This is what we are going to dive into together. And if you look at my website or my social media, there are incredible testimonials and sharing and all of that. So you can let me know if you want to have some of those as well. You can sign up for my newsletters. You can receive all of that in the email as well. So thank you so much, beautiful ones. Any questions, drop me a DM. As always, no obligation to sign up for anything, because if you're not ready, that probably just means that you have to go into something else to find that faith, to find that trust, that readiness to come into work with me. So it's important that I mention this. Okay? All right. So no more questions. Well, thank you so much for all your incredible love and presence. And yeah, keep rocking. Keep rocking. All right. Big kisses.